What's going on, everyone? Honda Fit for Adventure here, and today I'm going to show you my 5 recommendations for beginner road trippers and car campers. Please keep in mind that these recommendations are just my opinions based on traveling across the United States for the last couple of years and helping others out along the way. It's also rather windy outside today, so I'm going to film this video entirely inside my car. I'm pretty sure you also don't like top 5 videos that are longer than 10 minutes, so I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. With all that being said, let's move on to recommendation number 1, and that is electronics. At the minimum, I'm sure you're going to want to keep at least your cell phone alive when you're driving, and to do this, you're going to get one dual USB port charger with at least 2 charging cables and a USB battery bank. The purpose behind this setup is to keep your phone and your USB battery bank topped off while you're driving, and then when you arrive at your destination for the day or the night, you're going to run all of your power off the USB battery bank as opposed to running it off your battery. If you're traveling with 2 people, I would recommend doubling up some of these items. That would include, if your car is able to, a secondary dual USB port charger and at least 3 to 4 cables. That way everyone's at least able to charge their cell phone and a secondary USB device. I would suggest at least a 10,000 milliamp hour battery at a minimum with 2 USB charging ports, although 20,000 milliamp hours seems to be most common these days. This one also was available with 3 charging ports. Just a buyer's note, please don't buy the USB charging adapters at the gas station. Most of the time they're only able to charge at a ½ amp at a time, and that's not enough power to charge your phone and run a GPS app at the same time, let alone trying to charge 2 devices at once. Another buyer's note is don't be fooled by reviews on Amazon. I purchased a 20,000 milliamp hour battery, not this one, but another one, and when I received it, it only checked out to have 16,000 milliamp hours. I was nice enough to leave a 4-star review and left adequate documentation and photos of my findings. They did not like this, so they emailed me numerous times from a bunch of bogus accounts trying to change my review in exchange for money, which I did not. They got a hold of Amazon, and Amazon put a strike against my account, even though I showed that that item was not being shipped as advertised. Recommendation number 2 is some roadside assistance gear. Item number 1 on the list is a 12-volt air pump. This was about 25 bucks. I think it's about $35 at the time. If you've ever had a leaky tire, you know that adding quarters into the air machine is going to add up over time, and this will quickly pay for itself. A lot of people choose to carry Fix-A-Flat, which is nice, but it's not going to put air back into your tire after you repair the hole. This actually happened to us last November. We were camping for the weekend, and my friend woke up with a flat tire. And with the 12-volt air pump, we were able to get some more air into his tire and get halfway home. We filled his tire up again when we got some gas, and then we got all the way home. This way, we were able to drive 100 miles back home on a full-size tire rather than putting on a donut. You also have to understand that not everyone is capable or able of changing a spare tire.
It scared me. Probably flies on my head.
And in some countries, they don't even have a spare tire in their vehicle. My next item on the list is something I wish I invested in a lot sooner rather than being stranded in the middle of Colorado at 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, the car died. And that is a battery jumper or booster pack. With a battery jumper or booster pack, you're going to be able to give yourself a jump start without relying on somebody else and hoping that they have jumper cables. Quite literally, moving on to my next recommendation. And that is privacy. There's plenty of videos on YouTube showing you how to make window inserts that take different amounts of time, money, and effort. You can see I went over the top with mine, but I'm going to show you a quick and easy way, relatively free, and that is to get a big sheet, blanket, tablecloth, or in my case, a curtain. This one could be a bit bigger. Drape it over yourself like a blanket over the front 2 seats. with a dark material covering yourself. This way no one can see you laying down inside of your car, and most importantly, it's going to keep any parking lot lights from shining inside of your car. It also provides adequate airflow between the two seats, keeping the blanket, sheet, or curtain off of your face. My next recommendation on the list is to keep it simple. Keep in mind that we are just car camping. We are not trying to live the van life. That being said, there's no reason that you can't live out of a backpack for the week or weekend. If you ever gone backpacking or camping, you know that you could easily fit a sleeping bag, your clothes, and some dry food along with some water in an average sized backpack. And I don't even need to bring a tent because we're sleeping in the car. Keeping it simple plays into my last and final recommendation, and that is to don't be scared, be prepared. And what I mean by that is to practice, practice, practice. Most likely you're going to bring a lot of stuff that you don't need your first couple times camping or road tripping. And by practicing, you'll be able to figure out which items you really need and which items you really don't. Practice in your driveway, practice at the gas station, practice at your local grocery store. You don't want to drive far away from your house and figure out that car camping is not for you. Also, by practicing local, you're going to prevent putting yourself in a situation you might not easily be able to get out of. You might wake up too cold, you might wake up with a bunch of people walking around your car, and you might want to get home very quickly, and you won't be able to do so if you just drove out to the middle of nowhere. Those are things that you're going to have to deal with and get used to. You want to make sure you work out all those scenarios before you take off on the road on a longer trip. So practice, 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 and figure out what you need. That concludes my 5 recommendations for beginner road trippers and car campers. If you like this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe and all that other YouTube jazz. And I'll make sure to make a more intermediate and advanced video. Thank you for watching.